actually called Lost and Found. Sorry, I didn't have that much time to prepare as well. So you know how some people have summer flings with other people? This summer, I had a summer fling with a mountain bike. A very, very expensive mountain bike. And like most flings, this one ended in heartbreak and a trip to the police station. It was my second summer in New York City, and I felt like I was finally getting into the flow of things. I was learning to talk a little bit differently. I was looking differently. I even started dressing differently. So my friend Stephanie at the time, I would say she was like a real housewife of New York City. She had this great idea that we would spend this summer riding bikes, getting bikes, and riding around the city. Now, at this time, I was staying on Stephanie's couch, okay? I couldn't afford a bike. So I actually ended up borrowing her husband's very, very expensive $1,200 mountain bike. It was kind of like this thing, Stephanie was into trends. She was kind of following the hipster wave was kind of big then. It was early 2010s-ish. So in keeping up with the trends, we decided that we'd just start biking around the city. So we got the bikes, we went to the pubs, the clubs, restaurants, bars, you name it. We were there in our bikes. You saw the bike, you saw me, you saw me, you saw the bike. Now it was great. You could just ride down 6th Avenue, the wind blowing in your hair, the sun on your skin, got your headphones in, listening to your favorite songs, and you got taxis to your right, cars to your left, pedestrians. It was just great. This is the first time I really understood what being a cool kid was. Getting a bike. There's no more subways with the common folk, no more public transportation. No, you got a bike if you're cool. So I had a friend who invited me actually to a rooftop bar. So this rooftop bar was in the meatpacking district. So the meatpacking district was kind of this really swanky area. Sometimes you see celebrities there. It was a hub for the nightlife. So if you wanted to go out at night, you kind of went to the meatpacking district. But it was summertime and we were day drinking. I forgot to add a caveat. So my only responsibility with borrowing Gary's bike was that I had to purchase a lock. I did purchase a lock, but let's just say I purchased a cheap one. So this day, I go and I meet my friend at the bar. At the rooftop bar. So outside the bar, there's scaffolding, they're doing work on the building, kind of strange. So I'm looking around, okay, where am I gonna park the bike? I end up parking it, tying it up. It was one of those, I don't know if you know, those chain bikes, chain locks. So I just wrapped it around the scaffolding, locked it up, went upstairs, had some drinks. 30 minutes goes by, cool, still drinking, more people are coming up, we're eating. Another 30 minutes goes by, hour goes by, hour and a half goes by. We're all right, time to go to the next spot. I'm great, yes, I'm a little under the influence, but I will take my bike, I'll meet you there. Everybody's hopping in their taxis and stuff. I go downstairs, I go to the scaffolding, take a look at the remnants of what looks like the lock I bought. On the ground, someone had used, it looked like one of those plier things to cut it. The bike was gone. I went hysterical because not only did I lose someone else's bike, but now I had the responsibility of replacing it. I really didn't know what to do. I had really fallen in love with the bike. So I'm there on my knees, I'm looking around, asking people, have you seen this bike? I even walked around, I was I know I'm a little drunk, maybe I put it somewhere else. I look at this building and I do see some CCTV cameras. I'm oh great, I'm gonna go and call the police. So I go to the police station, which is a couple blocks away, and my friend who invited me to the bar came with me. So I go in, again, I'm hysterical, I see this guy, I see this cop at this station, he looks like he has a million things to do, and finding my bike is probably not one of them. So I go and I explain to him, listen, I was here, my bike was just down the street, I don't know why, but it's gone now, and I see some cameras, do you think you can help me recover it? He's there's been a lot of bikes being stolen in the area lately, and there was actually a bike burglar on the loose. I'm okay, great, yeah, but my my bike was stolen under a CCTV camera, so yeah, you should be able to find it, right, in a couple of days? He said, if I were you, I'd probably go and look for a new bike. So that day, I gave up all hope in the justice system. It was just like, this is where my tax dollars are going. Okay. So I obviously have my friend there with me. Again, I'm still lost, crying, don't know what to do. He's like, hey, I have a plan. Let's just go get some more drinks. And I'm like, at this point, I'm gonna need it because I have to make the phone call that I'm dreading to make to Gary. Obviously, I kind of have a couple of drinks, muster up some liquid courage, and I call Gary, and I'm just hysterical, crying, and I'm just apologizing profusely because, I don't know, I just felt really bad about losing something, especially that didn't belong to me at $1,200, so. Gary's like very apologetic to me. He's like, Lauren, don't worry about it, you're gonna be fine. I was like, Gary, I'm gonna replace the bike, I promise, I'll do what I can. Now Gary and I both knew that I was staying on his couch, not paying any bills. Not giving Gary a dime. So how I was gonna pay for this bike, me and Gary probably both know. That statement was very far-fetched. But again, my intentions were good. Like I felt morally obligated to do the right thing. So a day goes by, okay, no phone call from the police station. Another day goes by, still nothing, haven't heard anything. We're here now at a week later. I said, all right, I guess I have to start actually looking for a new bike now. Like a week has gone by, Stephanie's gone, I have to take the subway, like just my life is a wreck now. Like the summer is going and I am not going with it. So I have to fix this and I have to fix it fast. So I go on, it's kind of advertisements website, it's kind of like Done Deal. Instead I go on Done Deal and I start looking for the bike, typing in, like similar specifications. I type in the speed and all this, and I'm finding bikes that kind of look similar, but again, they're like way out of my price range. So I just kind of keep browsing. And then I come onto this ad that says, it was just like a strange ad. It was like bike for sale, but like looking for rightful owner. I was like, that's strange. So I go in and I look at the ad, and the ad basically says, I bought this bike for $65, which I believe was stolen because it's worth more than that, and I'm looking for the rightful owner. So if you can describe the bike, it's yours. You can give me back what I paid for it. So this seems too good to be true, but you know what, I'll just send a message out there, who knows. So I sent out the message and I contacted the guy. He's like, listen, I'm getting a lot of emails about this bike. I need you to be more specific. If it belongs to you, I need something that nobody else would know. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I don't even know the specs about mountain bikes. Like, I'm literally just borrowing a friend's bike. But then I remembered that underneath the seat of the bike, there was a pouch, and I had a cherry lipstick or lip balm. The cherry lip balm should be in there. Just check underneath. If that's it, it's my bike. Somehow I got the phone call to come and pick up the bike. So, of course, my friend that was there with me when I lost the bike came with me when I found the bike. We got to the guy's door. He had like his little 2 or 3-year-old son with him at the door. He welcomed us in, took us to this room where he had like 4 or 5 bikes. Like this guy was like a real cyclist. So like he knew. So I gave him the $65. Like, wait, so like how'd you find the bike? Like what happened? Tell me the story. And he was like, no, like this guy was like walking down the East Village with his bike. He's like, hey, anybody want a bike? He's like, $65. And the man's like, that bike's not worth $65. And he just knew. So he said, you know what? I just felt like I had to do my good deed. So this guy was like the bike savior. The bike burglar was out there. So he definitely saved the day. So what I found actually that day, I obviously found the bike. Gary was happy, I was happy. But what I actually found that day was what I was really searching for. And it was that freedom that the bike gave me. So it wasn't really the bike that I found. It was just that childlike energy, that feeling that the bike gave me. And I found it again. And that's honestly what I was really looking for. Thank you.